like in all honesty, your chances are garbage.
your chances. Most sports, really.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think it shows that the barrier to entry is lower is lower than it's ever going to be.
DC's turn to pick.
Here we go, gentlemen. We got it. Game number 1, draft of our lower bracket final, Complexity, going against Digital Chaos. The winner of this will move on into the grand final, a best-of-5 matchup between them and Team Freedom. That is all going to be for the last remaining qualifier spot in this region. So we begin. Digital Chaos will be opening up with their picks Sand King and Lena after Complexity used their first pick on a Witch Doctor.
5 seconds remaining.
Weird. They're just like, hey guys,
well,
lower bracket final.
Reserve
There's my
time.
Witch Doctor.
The Earthshaker's banned out, so Complexity don't take Swindles' first pick Earthshaker every single time. Which, you know, I think is completely fair ban. Take out a comfort hero for him. Take out something that he's been owning on.
Does that mean they're going to get Darkseer for him instead?
That is a possibility. Like you said, he's like always been playing these heroes that have a way to get guaranteed farm.
It would kind of make sense somewhat with the Witch Doctor. They have okay synergy, but I would think more about the fact that usually when you run Darkseer, you want a 4 position that works well with Darkseer, so you can provide this aggro dual lane.
Some sort of...
And Witch Doctor would be, I think, is one of the stronger laning phase supports to protect a carry by himself.
Venomancer. Am I the only one, by the way, who feels like Swindle shares a hero pool with a certain arch nemesis ROTK? I feel like they kind of like just play the same heroes, even if they hate each other. You don't think ROTK is the same way?
I don't think so. ROTK plays those like a lot of like YOLO run in at you heroes, a lot of initiators.
10 seconds.
I see a lot of RTK Tide and Darkseer too, though. Well, you know, we'll see. Maybe on BTJ change things up a bit, but you know, can't go a game now without some sort of Venom hitting the field.
Reserve time.
Venomancer for coL.
Yeah, it's a very self-sufficient, safe laner.
Who doesn't move too much for the first 5 minutes. I'm not feeling the Veno in NA. I think I saw every single game they either lost or the games they won, that Veno did.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen a lot of successful Venos across the board. I think they see Arteezy play the hero and they see him make a lot of space on the map, but I don't think they've gotten his rotations down the same way he has. Like he manages to push a tower very early, takes that tower, moves to the off lane immediately, starts pressuring there, while his other team the rest of his team is creating a lot of space on the other side of the map. Feels like the teams that are picking Venomancer right now haven't emulated that, or at least emulated its success.
I think teams are also doing a better job at dealing safe lane Venomancer, picking better offlaners
5 seconds
against it so they don't lose their.
Yeah, I think that's very fair as well. We saw actually Swindle Melons take the Earthshaker and use it very successfully against the Venomancer.
What about Legion Commander? He's still available in the pool. DC could possibly snag it up for Rev. How does that match up against?
It's good because of Prestige Tag, just have some kind of heal. When you're playing against Venomancer, you want that one hero with a heal who tends to build a pipe, make Guardian greedy.
I mean, Legion.
It's really good. You get.
I'm talking about in general. Tide Hunter Sanking, build a pipe.
It's very good because you get Poor-Man Shield and you get press the attack. Or
yeah, the
what's the passive?
The passive procs from attacking the boards, so you can feed on them.
Moment of Courage?
Moment of Courage. Yeah. Okay, so
10 seconds.
So you actually have a really good source of like sustain that you can do in the lane, and then you later on you've got the lockdown duel that is very important. Like, it's the tough thing about Venomancer is that he becomes super tanky as a core. You want to go on him, but at the same time you're punished so heavily if you go on him and you fail to kill him before he gets off his ultimate.
This will come clean you up or split push down a couple of towers here. Another great offlaner that been good at kind of going against the Venomancers, and maybe a partial reason why I was banned out. I like that Nature's Prophet. And we saw a lot of Nature's Prophet plus Lycan. The Howl, the trees, those have been a lot of fun. I imagine we'll probably be seeing that through this series or maybe even the final. But now we have Digital Chaos securing up their 5 position here, going defensive with.
I think it's
DC's
something. It's like a type of hero we typically see Dubu on right now. Not too aggressive. Stay in the lane. Try and secure Mason's safe lane. You have a save like later in the game.
10 seconds remaining.
Dubu is that kind of a player that doesn't end up with big shiny.
5 seconds remaining.
It doesn't farm
Legion
much.
Commander.
It tends to go
Complexities
invest pretty
turn
much
to pick.
gold into wards, give the position a lot of time to build up his items.
So I like that. They don't go for the Legion Commander right away. So they get the opportunity to Doom come out, which
10 seconds
I believe is Z-Freak's hero, right? So now they get to see the full support staff of Complexity.
5 seconds remaining.
Then can grab up a Legion, knowing there's not any sort of serious defensive support option that would deny her
Reserve
from
time.
easy duels. What do you guys think about the Doom, though? This got respect banned in the previous series, and I don't think it was picked up at all, but here we get to see it for game.
I think it's pretty good versus the current pool of mid heroes. These scaling intelligence heroes that turn into carries. Doom versus Lina, Queen of Pain, Puck. It's all good. Especially since you're a 4 position countering 2 position. Or even in some cases, they're kind of the 1. So I think it's pretty good. It's just a question of whether or not you can make your laning phase work. But that's the problem with this 4 position Doom in general, right? It's just you can have really lackluster
10 seconds remaining.
rotations. Only really good 4 position supports like AY does it very well because he has a great read for where to move first 10 minutes.
Reserve time.
Trending thing for these 4s. Heroes like Clockwork that we already see banned out are capable of being able to make those maneuvers with what feels like less effort just because their toolkit is so nice, whereas Doom doesn't really have much to offer in the early game. But that ability later on to just take a hero and say, you know what, you're not going to be a part of this fight for a while. It might be just so valuable to Complexity to see if it works out for them. And then they move forward, and we're going to be in store for a Firo Templar Assassin to match up against the...
Yeah, they pick it before their offlane because they already know the matchup. They haven't seen DC safe lane yet, so it's better for them to at least get some more information before they pick some Lamelons as hero. They're thinking right now, what Mason hero? They probably have a couple offlaners in their mind. They have one they prefer, and they're thinking, what safe lane hero gives us the most? Or has one built in.
Or has one built in, yep.
We see the Lifestealer taking
a heal, maybe a jug.
War Chief.
Ooh, a
what?
Centaur.
DC's turn to pick.
Centaur coming out here. We saw Snake King pull this out yesterday for Freedom, and it worked out pretty well for him, if I'm not mistaken. He won that laning phase, and I believe they went on to win the game.
Yes.
Got great timing. For his items, he had an early pipe, he had a decent good blink,
remaining.
And they made it work.
It's got really good synergy with Templar Assassin, Veno, and
remaining.
They might go for maybe so blown up.
10
the
seconds
Centaur in the lane. The Centaur from yesterday had a lot of health, so that's why he dominated the lane.
Boy,
more
Viper.
slime.
Viper versus Venomancer. It's pretty foul. Wow, that's pretty. That's a safe. Is it gonna be safe lane farming Viper?
Yeah. It's a good matchup against Centaur, and I think like one of the problems that we've seen from Digital Chaos's games in the past has been, even though Dubu tends to stay in that safe lane, a lot of times he gets run over. He doesn't contribute very much, and Mason is still left on his own. So Mason needs something that could really dominate a lane, and Viper is that.
Why not like a Razor then, who also could dominate the lane? Viper is typically not the option to go to in the safe lane, like whereas Razor would be.
Better against magic damage.
Yeah,
there's the reason I think Venomancer core.
5 seconds.
Centaur's a lot of magic damage.
No, it's fair enough. I mean, most would frown at the idea of Viper, but I feel like it's been long enough that we're warranted for some sort of Viper appearance here. But now that we have the full draft, guys, we'll do the whole prediction thing. What do you guys think? Who's going to be walking away with a Game 1 victory and one game closer to Grand Final?
I think DC is a better overall team than City. Complex played these extremely well, but I think players. But I don't like the Viper pick. I'll go with. I love the Doom pick, and if he manages to do good early game first.
I'm gonna take DC. I think Viper has a lot of utility outside just the laning phase now. It's really good against TA. Even after the laning phase, burn off a fraction. I think something that's just been super important this entire patch is Zanking. It's like one of the best, if not the best, roaming for position right now. And something that we could see that's a little bit new from DC is Dubu moving with the Zanking, because Mason doesn't really need a lot of help. And then SK Dazzle ganks can be pretty potent. You know, you stun, heal bomb.
And what about for you, Cap? What do you
I
think?
don't know.
What's your take on the draft here?
I'm actually really not sure. I kind of like Complexity's lineup. I actually agree with Charlie in that I do like the Viper last pick, simply because I think the link phase is really important for this game, and it'd be very difficult for Z-Freak to be able to find a home for him to be able to put the pressure. If it was like most other safe laners would be really pressured by a Doom rotating into a Centaur lane, and even potentially Witch Doctor, right? Like Witch Doctor's a really scary ganking support for side lanes. So I think you needed something that was like super hard to gank, and that's why we saw the lifesteal advantage.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. It just all comes down to whether or not, for me, this Templar Assassin, Hero's Templar Assassin, is able to have a good game. I just don't think his supports are, like, the supporting crew of Complexity is really going to be able to make this space happen so much. I'm not sure, like, for example, the Venomancer.
Why did I bet against Venomancer? With Venomancer, I'm betting against Venomancer. DC.
Yeah, I think Venomancer just doesn't do enough.
Can we allow that?
For Templar
yeah,
Assassin
it's allowed
to win. So
it's allowed?
This one time, yeah. If you see a Venomancer, you're allowed to.
Allow it. All right, well, let's get into it, gentlemen. It is going to be early offensive posturing here for Digital Chaos as they claim this bounty rune. Then that means Swindles is going to try to square up against Mason here up at the top, and he'll take the bounty rune back for his team. So this will still end up being a 2 bounty runes.
I think they're actually going to win the lanes pretty hard. You've got Lina Sand King versus Templar Assassin, and this Dazzle Legion Commander should be really good for Rev as well. So I think they're actually going to win 2 out of 3 of their lanes, and I don't think Viper will be exceptionally crushed. I think, like, if you look at this laning phase, there's much more likely that DC walks away with the win in the first 10 minutes.
Look, Z-Freak is trying to move down mid right now, but, I mean, even with a creep, I don't think he's a better hero than Sand King.
His spot and where he's going to be at the beginning of this game is going to be one to watch out for. You can't help but feel like it might be something very awkward right now, finding himself in the midst of a 2-man stun. Peter is going to be forced to choose through the tree here to kind of get the extra bit of region, but he does have the shockwave.
And he
missed the range creep.
He's just got half mana to deal with.
Yeah, he's only got 2 shockwaves to throw, and the first one missed what it intended to do, you know?
I guess if we're going to look at positives for that, he does have the health regen aura.
6 HP a second.
Hell yeah. I'll take away your XP, but I'll give you some life.
Don't use refraction, Zero. Just tank it.
Well, if he sits there for, what, 2 minutes, that's 700.
That's value.
Yeah,
man.
I was only half joking about the refraction thing. He really should try and tank some of the harassment.
Hard move in to harass Firo a bit, and then Z-Free bites back onto Bulba, and the mid lane duo continue to go.
The early rotations from Doom also rely on what creep. You got, let's say, a stun creep.
Regeneration.
Centaur?
No, the one that has a boulder. Yeah.
Oh, the golem.
Golem.
Yeah, the golem.
The gods. Yeah.
Then it's kind of different. It's so much easier to gank, and depends on the lineup you're playing with. I mean, there's not much kill potential with the TA, but with a Centaur there is.
Also, I mean, if he got a wild kill, he would have been really sad.
Yeah, and because the Doom is mid, then Centaur obviously loses this Viper lane, and he's going to be low enough HP that Doom actually can't gank for him, right? The combination for this Doom is like, I'm going to hurl Boulder, and I'm going to get close enough to Infernal Blade. Like, that's how he ganks lanes.
Yeah, there's the
But you can't do it with a Centaur, no HP.
Yeah, but shards. He can't even do it with a TA, there's no follow-up.
Yeah.
They're going to go for it.
If they overextend, yes, but that's pretty much it.
When you can't gank bottom lane, it's a double heal lane. Legion Commander Dazzle.
The ganking is very awkward. Take an early peep at the CS. I'm surprised to see Mason way up at the top. 17-4. Here we go. Hard move for Z-Freak to Doom. Caught out with the Burrow and LSA, but they're going to be able to man fight through it. And Firo will get the takedown. Bed going to be feeding over the first.
I don't believe going on the Doom. Especially with the Lina putting himself in melee range of the Templar Assassin to go on the Doom.
Doom has 0 armor, but has high HP. 900.
Fairness there, Sand King Arrow at 740.
Well, let's not forget, you're guaranteed going to lose your Lina, because even if they did kill the Doom, you'd have Doomlings pop out, and he'd just chuck boulders at Lina.
So, a little overzealous by Bulba and Abed there.
Bottom, it's going to be a haste.
Radiant's
Grabs it up and could end up shifting his way over through the mid lane. May need to get there actually, because Firo is in a bit of hurt. Whoa! Throw down the Dragon Slave, but couldn't quite catch the mark.
Can't cancel the salve.
Got it.
Yes, he did. Salves and runs right out. Rastafarian assassin.
Such a clowny dude.
Bulba's gonna pick up the bounty rune for.
Good man.
Bro was on the name Bulba, so. Bro?
Alright, Swindles is decent HP and he's got boots. But it's a level 5 Viper, it's got 2 levels of corrosive skin. There's still no way they...
Freak is low.
Well, with a clap and fire from Doom, they can, what is that, 2-2 build with Orb of Venom on Centaur.
It like guaranteed trade.
Can they do it? Can they take down the flying slime? Mason surrounded, and it looks like they will. Muscle him down the brothers.
Once you see a Centaur picks up Orb of Venom in that kind of matchup, you know you're gonna be rotating on it.
Catch the back end of it, but bottom lane, it's Dugu who gets the best of Moo when both sides square up.
Regen scores through. So crazy, it's early levels.
Yeah, they buffed it, right?
Yeah.
The last patch.
10, 20, 30, 40, no. Starts off at 16 level.
Yeah, some flub from T in the mid lane is allowed TA to catch back up.
They haven't started the stacking quite yet. Time to work. For now, just defending out for that 6 rune. Again, we'll be bottom. Bulba spots out where it will be. Arcane it is. Demon's getting some decent levels on his Witch Doctor. He's been doing most of the full game. Trying to babysit Moo when he... Z-Freak is still on the prowl once again, remaining kind of off the map. He's spotted under a ward right now, so they'll see his move lane, but trying his best to step off the radar as best as possible.
Yeah, Z-Freak gets another creep, different creep. Every time. Now he got...
Hard move for Forev. He's going to go for the TP on the high ground and make it away. While Z3 crossing paths with Bulba, they'll spot each other out. They'll still keep each other in check and mirror match, if you will.
For the temple.
He actually has more experience than Bulba, who's been more tied down to the middle. Obviously, participating in that kill top certainly helps that.
You also eat a big creep by yourself.
Is Doom a fighter, like active? Like once you get level 6, do you just go right into your point of Doom into the core position and just
Radiant structures are fortified.
maybe just prioritize someone
More fuel for my fire.
Well, that's the good thing with the Doom, what Cap said. You have these strong early mid heroes that scale so well. Like Lina, Queen of Pain, Puck. You want to shut them down with just one spell and force them to go for a Linken's. Is there any good Linken's pop this game? No. Witch Doctor, but shit, double edge. So that's bad thing for complexity. Earl Boulders.
Earl Boulder to pop the Linken's.
The Mana Doom. Mana Burn Doom.
Yeah,
absolutely. Swindle. Freeze. It will stun. Then the blade comes out. Swindle quickly slams down the ulti. Tries to make a hasty retreat, but Bulba is on the chase. Does not want to pursue Burrow Strike. Decides to fend off.
To be honest, I never saw Centaur with a Orb of Wind.
Now you have. Swindle's got you.
Regeneration.
He's owning because of the Doom.
29
What's his CS?
I mean,
29?
Yeah, his CS is still impressive.
29 in
Unfortunate
a
matchup.
Now even sapping the XP away from Bulba, who's just trying to get upwards towards his own level 5. He grabs it now. I think a shift towards the mid lane is now going to be important. They haven't really been able to be too proactive on this TBA and kind of scout out if they have any stack game going, which don't.
Hero's pretty happy with mid now, that's for sure. He's making his comeback, and most Templar Assassins don't walk away from the laning phase with a 1-up over their opponent. They usually have to make the comeback through stacks on 8 or other camps. Templar Assassin is very efficient at clearing kills. So the fact that Firo is even with Alina is fantastic.
Well, Abed does have his Laguna Blade now ready to go. I don't know what kind of setup they can get here. Bulba's still around. There is potential. Forev going into the jungle, stepping away from his off lane. Also has his level 6, so Duel and Laguna out there. They have options available to him. It's just finding the right timing and target.
Yeah, it's really up to Bulba to make something happen here.
Whatever the call may be, someone has got to do it. Bulba will shift all the way down. The Demons don't take those stacks. They race for the bounty rune. Bulba doesn't even go straight for it, so the Demon's able to snag it in front of him. Had to round the corner.
He had to go around the crystal.
Bulba versus Jimmy. Battle between Rashid and Kick.
Hey. The Bulba wasn't about to kick himself.
Another little fun matchup.
All these NA Dota matchups have
so much history.
Nice rooted history relationship.
The juiciest region,
Deceit.
just like our chicken.
Smoke out here for complexity. Continue to show himself through that mid lane, but the rest of the squad will slowly inch the rotation, what look all the way up to the top lane now. Mason's up here with Dugu just by his side. Take up behind the back position. While this happens, we also have a rotation coming. See, it looks like down to the bottom lane.
Good, they need to do this real bad, but you can't let a Venomancer just sit.
Right tower goes down, and the charge is out of the out for Swindles. Him and Z3 to run onto Mason. Mason will get hit with the grave.
Oh, he could have gotten the both maybe if he used the ulti on Sen.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Laguna out, and a duel complete. They are going to be able to take down Moo.
And Abed pretty quick TPs back to mid lane to stop Furo from hitting his mid tower. So they lose very little from that rotation.
He's got a nice DD in his pocket too.
But Doom got level 6 off of that top fight, so Lina can be so easily shut down. He's got TA traps. That
is happening now. The second Abed shows himself in the lane, Z-Freaks just start beelining it that way. They're going to hit her with a trap, but as he throws in the boulder, there's rotation now. Tell him to go the other direction.
Freak was a little bit slow. Like Furo popped the trap much before Z-Freak was in the range, in range of running mid.
Telegraphed is what they wanted to do, probably a little too early.
It makes it easy for 2 rotations.
They have almost a Blink Dagger on Legion Commander, and with the Brave, much have secure. They have secure damage with Laguna Blades and stun. Would be enough to get early damage from duels.
Looks like, meanwhile, Swindle has continued to truck his way through that top lane. He's got the hood done, and he's got a little gold invested to go, I imagine, towards that blink. He's still getting pretty, you know, jacked for Centaur.
Money to burn.
You just get that blink initiation kind of set up for you. And, when you're going to have a lineup with a Venomancer, you have to have a lot of potential between the other 4. All those extra tools will help out. So I imagine Moo is going to continue to be pretty invested in this bottom lane.
Somebody we haven't talked about a lot that just picked up his blink dagger is Forev.
Mentioned it.
You're so soft spoken, and the words are like.
See, like his words are like honey.
Yeah, sometimes I just don't know. I'm sorry.
I like the fact that they moved Mason, the Viper mid, and given Bulba the free lane top. It's really good for Bulba. Mason's still going to get safe farm and everything, but it's even more important that Lina's able to play off map and actually get the rotation to kills. But fortunately, they haven't been able to find anything yet. It looks like maybe with the Legion they can catch mid. Pressure this tier 1.
Yeah, both teams are kind of hunting because you know coL still want to try to make something with this Doom, but you can say the same for DC with that duel at the ready here. They're waiting in the back lines of this mid lane as Mason just sieges away at the tier 1.
But he's like impossible to go on with Weave on him.
Yeah. Plus 17 armor as he takes down the tower. He's going to be able to walk away with really no trouble at all. Bottom lane Abed has been kind of pushing this one on forward. It looks like his Lagoon is going to be back up, so definitely going to be go time. Plus Invis bottled up. The rest is already smoked and taking their business all the way up to the top lane. Could also rotate up here if they much harder commitment.
Abed's going to bottom.
Bulba just trying to bait. Go on him.
Oh, they show.
Who's showing himself.
Yeah, it looks like. They're just gonna
Visibility.
Back on the grind. Z-Freak's been able to throw together a drum. It's nice. Bulba matches up evenly with him, but Bulba's gonna be also working towards that blink dagger, and can't help but feel like Sand King with the blink dagger will just continue to bring much more to team fights and the game impact overall with this team.
Well, he should be more consistent, but
Dire's middle tower under attack.
Doom on Alina in the big even fight, I feel like is probably,
Dire's top
unless
tower
Bulba hits
is
some
under
massive
attack.
epicenter stun, take out one of your heroes on the map with one spell. Pretty damn good.
Dire's
Be
bottom
careful
tower
about
is
positioning
under
himself
attack.
meant to be.
Looks like they'll settle for Bulba. He does get hit with the Grave, and Swindle pops out the Stampede. A defensive one to retreat back. Bulba's going to get hit with a little bit of heal coming in from Forev. Z-Freak tries to go for the TP, but he gets hit up with a duel. And he will turn into damage for Forev. Now the second duel of the game. Thwarted gank.
It's not a hero you want to do. You don't want to do the Viper ever.
No. Again, it's just a great read of the situation because when you're playing with this Venomancer, you always play with, you're not going to gank the Venomancer's lane, right? So most of the time, these extra heroes, they're not playing in lane. They're going to try and invade the enemy's safe lane.
Yeah, but the thing is with Venomancer, he's going to sit on that bottom lane for the next 10-15 minutes, and they lost the tower on top, so he can't even...
I was trying to make it about the fact that how you play with the Venomancer, but Lacoste, he'll never miss an opportunity to throw some shots at Venomancer. Look at his garbage hero, he's not doing anything for them right now.
I mean, to be fair, he's really not, and he feels like he can. He went for the Midas rather than like an early Veil or anything like that.
He's building into the Whale. But
well,
even when he gets a Veil, then he needs to buy a Hurricane Pike plus Boots of Travel, and he's still not ready.
Yeah, usually you want to pick this hero to pressure the other team, but he hasn't taken his tower, and right now he feels like the one that's getting pressured. He's got a whole bunch of defensive wards up. You saw like back down there, he's just like sitting in the woods.
I'm using this moment to flame the Venomancer because Jack is not. Flaming Venomancer is like flaming Jack, that's the same thing.
Yo, there's got to be an ultimate Lacoste trigger lineup out there. Venomancer and Bane.
People are actually spamming me on Twitter to write the guy play Bane. This guy's also play Bane.
Leapfrogging over the wave and going right for Moo. They are going to try to burn through him, but they couldn't get enough done. The stun's there, and now the death ward comes out from Demon. They'll take down Forev. Duva's going to be forced to dish out the grave. Try to back on out from trouble, but coL are making their move in. Narrowly missing the stun, but finally they'll burn through and get a hold of him. Next to follow up on the mace, stun locks him in place, but Bulba steps in with his own burrow, and now Abed is going to be able to dish out the Laguna and go for the finish. Right clicks continue, his Swindle will also fall. Bulba ends up going down a victim of war there, and it's an absolute bloodbath in the bottom lane. More DC members will be hitting the deck.
Remember we talked about it when he's going on a...
You don't want to go on a Venomancer, yeah.
Failing to kill him. That was all because, you know, the duel does set up this really long duration hold. It's really great to set up on the Venomancer, but boy, did Swindle Melons completely kill the follow-up. He blinked in and got a two-man stun on the Viper and Dazzle, I think? Or
either way, is Forev really jumped ahead in front of his team with that. The Veno knows that you're coming. He's gonna position himself all the way in the back. He had to jump over a creep wave, like one or two heroes.
Dire's top tower is under
Nobody
attack.
You want the burst, even if Swindles gets the good stun off on the Viper and the Dazzle, you want your Lina is your burst damage. If you're gonna jump the Veno, you need your Lina to be able to be in position to follow up with the Laguna.
Bulba has an awkward build now because he's either ahead in gold or behind in experience, one or the other, right? He has Link Dagger without his epicenter.
He has a point, I think, or
no, he's 4-4-1.
He went for the talent 3. All right.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
so he's gonna blink in
and then flex armor.
Well, that's the good thing. The enemy, the complexity doesn't expect Bulba not to have the epicenter. So
that's what it is. Mind game. Mind game.
Yeah.
Bulba knew he was going to get the extra time.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Look at the damage over time that complexity deals. The Veno ulti, Maledict combined with that, also fire from the Doom.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
There's a lot of damage on over time.
Jump in, Link with this one.
They need Laguna
be set up
now.
To go to Doom. Can they finish him off the time they can? That Laguna will be there to help get the finish.
A little unnecessary.
Yeah.
Well, you want to get that dual damage. I was expecting a Laguna into Dragon Slave, that would be better, so you have a stun if they want to still fight.
Yeah, exactly. He's just instantly Laguna dual target. Oh, nice pick there on Move. That's a big one.
Yep. Good setup there between Bulba and Abed.
There is that one.
Abed's going to get the Blink Dagger as well.
Almost. Oh,
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Blink over Yule's first?
Yeah, I'm not liking it because of all of the damage over time you can't really blink out.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. I can see why, because it's good for setting up a kill with Legion commanders.
And the sinking. Yeah, this is sort of what we talked about in one of the other games where one of the Linas decided to go for the fast blink dagger because you want to be able to follow up quickly.
Also, if you're going to get stampeded, right? Dual Scepter only protects you against one kind of initiation. It doesn't protect against all of it. So, blink dagger is preferable if multiple sources of initiation are running at you.
Trap might bought out for Rev and company over here. coL are currently residing in DC territory, hoping to
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Possibly set something up, but timid in their approach. Gauge a bit better as far as how many there. DC are currently roll out. Still moving. Full buddy-buddy system, with the exception of this gentleman up here, Dubu, defending the lane by himself. They're not going far. Look at this. DC now have smoked up and are going to be heading what could be right behind the complexity gathering here. Bulba and Mason now spotted out. Hit by these wards, and coL know what's going on, and they're thinking about making a move in. Oh no, Forev thinking about jumping in. Actually managed to tag the duel onto the dude, but he's all alone in this. He's just going to get blasted on one front while Mason swinging it out between Demon and Swindle. He's going to lose that fight too. On the other side, Complexity members are taking it to both Dubu and Bulba. Bulba hiding within the sandstorm here. Abed's going to be forced to TP out. Can he make it though? He can. Brave was there to help out Dubu though. Not so lucky. It's a disaster fight for DC. Very hectic and quite all over the place.
I think the positioning from coL was much better, especially with the Venom wards. Their smoke was just running out. They were fighting twice. They had a ward on one side and Venom wards on the other side, providing really fight.
Yeah, and I think that entire top 4 is basically on the
Dire's
TH
top tower has fallen.
Well, Legion Commander was trying to get a good duel off, was hesitating, and then still went for, and he actually lost.
So somebody needed to call they couldn't fight. As soon as the smoke pops, they're underneath ward vision, they're underneath Venom ward vision, and they're not getting a clean initiation. Like that fight is never gonna go well. Like you're automatically, we've seen the same situation pushing into this high ground as Dire side, like trying to retake over your jungle is so difficult. When you're trying to like defend tier 2.
This is why Dire jungle is harder to evade, because of all these high grounds, but Complexity was actually positioned like they were.
Yeah, they were the ones in control, and DC were kind of the invaders inside.
Staying trying to fight into your vision. This is crazy. You guys seen how many wards are in this top lane? 3 for each team between here, 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 right over here. Feeling like they have the most comfortable vision in that area to be able to make that kind of approach, but Venom wards and coL's nice positioning. This one out. Now DC are thinking about trying to find a way to run this back, and they're hoping a move into the road. Securing the Aegis is going to help them a bit.
Lina has the best rune for arcane rune. Sometimes it's all it takes to win a team fight.
coL though smoked. Look at this. Drawing out the wraparound play. By the time they make it over there though, this Roach is going to be done for. Are they hoping to catch the team on the way out though? Yes they are. Z-Freak looking for his first target, spots out Dubu, but before he gets close to anyone, he gets himself found within a stun, a duel, and turned into damage. On the other side, Abed's still fighting within the pit while Swindle has made his move for Bulba, but the rest of DC are still feeling pretty hungry, ready for a fight. Swindle's going to be forced to pop the Pike and the Stampede to step out the other side, but Firo and Demon have ran into action. They're going to be able to get the finish onto Forev, and they fight back on the low ground once again. Laguna flying out, blasts down, and finishes off Demon, but Demon will be able to get that triple kill handed over, actually. Bulba's the one to go down to Swindle, and Moo gets the pickup onto Dubu there. Complexity take it in later rounds of this fight.
They don't have the answer for the TA. They need to lock it down with duel if they want to win a fight. They were going for Doom pretty much all the time, so he can't throw the Doom out. Also, you have a Viper who is committed to go for a Hood. You don't want to have that on your safe lane hero. I mean, the Pipe is good, especially against these heroes. You have one more Hood on Sanking, but still, you don't want your safe lane to have a Hood.
And he's getting gone on every single time. That Witch Doctor Cask is actually doing so much work in these team fights.
Yeah, I managed them. The Witch Doctor is also high level. Once he gets to level 15, those 2 extra bounces can actually change a fight. He's gonna get it soon because he has the XP talent.
Go for the Atos too.
That's great, actually, having a source of lockdown against Alina.
You can cast Atos while ulting? Or no?
I don't think so.
Okay. Cast Glimmer Cape. Maybe you can cast Rod, but that would make more sense.
Glimmer Cape and Shadow Blade, it's their what's it called? Items with 0 cast point, so that's why you can do them while channeling.
Thank you for educating me and probably a couple others out there who did not know. Approach coming in from Complexity now, a very low tier 2, seems pretty supple and easy for taking. DCR nearby after they push out the lane, they will look around the corner here, but
Radiant's bottom tower has
coL are still looking for a possible fight, or at least creating more space for Firo to kind of be able to finish off that push through the top lane here. All the meanwhile, Abed did get what looks like that bottom tier 1.
Crimson Guard, we talked about the how the Crimson Guard was a very effective item versus the Wind Ranger, Jaw Ranger lineups. I think it's also pretty good versus the Lina.
Yeah, Legion, Lina, Viper also have the right flickers. Should work fine, and I love the build on Sindels throughout the whole tournament.
Yeah, he's got some great item decision. I think the thing about Swindles as a DOS laner is that he is he's a lot more strategic and like larger game focused.
A lot of people don't understand that if you don't build the right items, that's the easiest way to lose. If you just skip a BKB, build differently, it will cost you a game.
Hero spotted here. Bulba was in Viz. Sets it up with the stun. They're going to be committing it with the duel. With the help of the Laguna, they will be able to burst through that refraction.
Wow, they use the Epicenter too.
Wow.
They figure there's no way that Firo's alone, right? And if they catch Firo, there's got to be a team that the team that will come in and back him up.
Well, speaking of ways to lose, getting caught out off on your own.
That's what exactly they need to do. Just lock down that TA. Expect TA to get a Lincoln Sphere this game actually. Because that's the only way they can lock it down. It's good against Viper ulti.
Radiant's middle tower is
good
under
against
attack.
tanking, stun, hard to initiate. Oh, is he building one?
Yeah, it's got a ton of value. Yeah, he is.
Certainly is.
That
DC
Guard is up.
Going to be rewarded with a tier 2 tower after taking down that TA.
We're
talking about that Crimson Guard is also obtained by Swindle Melons now. So they take their tower, they step out, and see coL possibly looking to set up something new. Z-Freak has pressed, slotted up for his Doom. We have Forev going BKB, and what was that? Pipe. So Bubble will be the pipe holder here. Imagine this will just stay as a hood here on Mason as he's. What do you build next year for your Viper? You're talking about how you need to make sure you secure some extra damage for your safe lane farmer. I've seen some
BKB or Butterfly.
BKB or Butterfly?
Yeah, Butterfly against TA.
The issue right now is he's getting locked down in fights between the Witch Doctor and the Centaur. You can't really do anything.
But this is the thing, at one point you will need to buy a BKB.
Yeah.
So you invest a lot of gold in the hood, so then you have a BKB and the hood.
And that
which
feels
is not
like
good.
shit.
It feels like you wasted a lot of gold.
You're not going to be really doing much deeps in fights either. You'll be able to get off a lot of damage and perhaps maybe take someone from Complexity out of the fight with the fact that you can pretty much just kite them down due to all the goo, but it doesn't feel good if you kind of move forward, advancing the game and trying to siege buildings quickly. As you see now, Firo is able to do pretty swiftly here. Leading in with his Hurricane Pike Deso combo, tries to get some damage in from that low ground, or at least try to force some DC members back indoors. But DC are not, taking the bluff. They've gotten some extra damage onto this tier 2 bottom lane and only now have decided to pull off.
What do you think if he went for he's got the Yasha, what if you think if he went for the S and Y into Halberd build?
Halberd Butterfly build?
Yeah.
I don't know, he's just gonna tank up, I guess. well, he gets some extra stats from it, extra armor against DA. Can't be blown up that easily. Something BKB, better choice.
Alright, DC are together here. What's the plan here, boys? Not smoked up. They're just going in raw dog style. A quick swift stun in. Look at the hole of Swindle Melons. Can't get the finish. He pops Stampede. Runs out the other direction. And look at that. A duel going to be committed after he was pretty much dead. He'll do it through the shallow grave, but he'll still be concluded and awarded to coL on this one. Swindles then mighty chop down onto Dubu, and the rest of DC are frantic to get the hell out while they can. But look at Lina doomed up and slowly being burnt away.
Such a bad duel, even gave away the damage. A good 4-staff reaction by Veno then.
Dire's middle tower
Crumbling a bit here for DC, and now suddenly coL still warmed up and ready to play, coming off a fresh 2-0 of Planet Odd. And looking to claim game 1 already of DC. As they pressure into the high ground, they force out the buyback of Forev and will simply walk away.
Talk about items, Centaur, because Linked Sphere is really good on DC side, obviously, because of the Doom. And they have nothing to pop it with. Have Cask, Double Edge. You don't want to use Cask to pop a Linked Sphere. It's more valuable into a fight. So once he gets Hell's Halberd on who is it? Centaur, yeah. It's gonna be a lot easier if they even build up.
I think the big problem for DC right now is that all their damage really just comes from the Lina. Viper doesn't really have anything at this point. If the Lina gets doomed, that's almost all your team fight gone.
Try to go for a smoke play here, yeah. Gotta fight now while you can. I don't think the game's gonna get any easy for you as it does pan out. Damage not really being there. To see if maybe they can start swelling up further with a successful pick. They rotate hard in through this mid lane, but coL themselves are already indoors, gathered up.
And coL have bottom tier 2 being hit. Top lane's decently pushed as well. Nobody's showing mid. It's a pretty clear smoke. It's a desperation smoke at that. Like, you know, Bulba's not the kind of guy who is just gonna call for smokes like that are super obvious. So it kind of feels like DC are kind of scrambling just to make something happen.
The response smoke, yeah, for coL. They seem to be dictating everything in this game right now. They'll take a quick peek into that Roche to see if it's a super short timer.
That was the uncontrollable smoke by Bulba.
Here comes a move, possibly onto Mason. Nice swift force will dodge the blink and stun attempt from Swindle. DC might have just avoided the approach of coL, but they are going to be shoved back indoors once again in that very uncomfortable, confined position. coL can just go back and ransack through the jungle of DC, take all of their resources and farm. And leave DC
just showing the dagger. Possibly an ulti ready as well.
That's so dumb, actually. You can get hit when
and
you have refraction. Yeah, when you have refraction up.
So annoying to play against. But when you have a TA in your team, then it's fine. It's perfectly balanced.
Just gotta get Orb of Venoms. Hit the TA.
Bulba trying his best to try to push things on forward a bit. Throwing himself out there to clear the waves here while the rest of his team just still stick together, knowing that they can't do much on their own.
What does AIDS mean?
Hurricane Pike?
Pike, Albert, looking to mill forward into a Scotty, it would appear.
Yo, this is Wilson's and Jack's build, the knee breaker. You slow them so much, you actually slow them down to 100 movement speed, which is the lowest movement speed that you can get slow to. The knee breaker.
The knee breaker. I heard him talking about that a lot, but I didn't know it was in correlation to that.
They will have 2 halberds or halbreds, as Grant calls, against Lina and Viper, also against Legion. These items,
their heroes are just not going to move.
Yeah. You can't move if you don't have legs or your knees are broken.
That's why it's called the knee breaker.
Well, but I mean, Crystal Maiden has 2 legs still, but she's not.
I mean, she's
walking.
She's got spinal problems, so you know, her legs
Dr.
don't work that
Charlie.
well.
Yeah, you know, like Forrest Gump. You know, he couldn't run. He had leg braces and stuff. That's like Crystal Maiden. Just body problems. She'll learn one day.
Ice Frog cursed her with some disease of the back.
Probably in the lore somewhere. Read between the lines. Here, a standoff for the Roche. Obviously, DC need to do something about this, and coL can't simply let DC have it, so they're kind of pressured into doing it themselves or being around and in attendance for it. But you know, obviously a lot of respect from both sides.
A nice, big, juicy wave is pushing bottom. That's perfect complexity. Just wait. Wait until it starts hitting the tier 3. Either DC are going to take a lot of damage on their tier 3 tower for nothing, for basically safeguarding Roshan, or they're going to move a hero over, and then you can try and get aggressive so you can get a pick. Maybe even chip on Roshan and just see what DC kind of do in reaction.
Well, Lina can easily push it out. She has max movement speed plus a blink dagger, so she can just clear it and come back pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's just like an opportunity, right? You never know what the enemy team's gonna do in result. Like if she's down there, saying that like 15 seconds she's down there, they see an opportunity to make a jump on DC.
Oh, did you see that hit? Side blades? It took 500 damage off the Viper. HP.
She hits like a truck here. coL are just still waddling around a bit. DC have been able to kind of fend off the pressure of that bottom lane, it looks like, so they're not on a bit of a timer anymore. Instead, it's going to be coL who have to step off a bit, kind of deal with things on the side. Swindler has been delegated to this pit for the past 3 minutes, it feels.
They've got a TA problem. Nothing really to deal with it. They don't even have a solar quest yet.
Feels like DC has got a lot of problems right now. Even when they took the Aegis, that last fight, they still lost.
And they don't have anything to remove the Lincoln. Does Sand have a Force Staff?
Not yet. He's trying to get one.
Yeah, you don't want to use Viper ult, you don't want to use Yule Scepter because Lina.
Dazzle, Poison Touch.
Yeah, Dazzle's gonna die if he casts Poison Touch on TA.
It's a medallion, the TA. Oh, I mean, let's be real, the Dazzle's dying anyways.
He's like that one Urukai in the siege where he has the lantern and he just runs in, you know, lights the fucking dynamite or whatever the hell that is. That's Dubu right now. Just runs in, pops the Lincolns.
Like running in, everyone's just like, shoot him, shoot him.
Alright, here we go.
Shooter!
They have weaved up. Surely this means they're doing something about it, and there's their move. And
great move.
And now it's gone. The move has been made. And then Swindle makes his move, and that move's gone. It's been made. Attempts were made from sides, and they go back and wait for another 10 minutes to do it again. Alright, gentlemen.
Swindle doesn't like popping his ultimate to start a fight, you notice that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's perfectly fair.
I think it's better that way.
Yeah.
I think more amateur centaurs would be trying to use it all the time. Oh, I see the opportunity, I'm using it now, but I think it's better to hold on to.
Moving for Bulba, hard commitment for Seafreak to try to take him down. Whoa. They are going to be able to get it, and then they fire right back onto Forev. He is going to get the grave and try to stay alive, but they quickly ignore him and put the work onto Abed instead. It's Firo with the double damage, just looking to shred right through him. Abed desperate, does self-use, while Dubu will slowly be poisoned away. Abed eventually going to be going down, and then it's focus onto Mason here. Him and Forev still trying to hold it out here on one front, but it looks like it's just going to be delaying the inevitable. Eventually they get hold of the sticky flying creature and take him down. A full 5-man wipe comes out for Complexity, a triple kill for Firo. And now a parade down the mid lane and a claim for the Rex. Only one with buyback is going to be Abed. Everyone else cannot return for about 50 seconds on your Viper and your Legion Commander.
I think that's game.
GG. I think that's game. One and done. That's Dota.
Ow. Firo with double damage accidentally almost killed the Legion Commander with side blades. And Legion Commander positioning was really questionable. This game he could not get